Hello and welcome back to another episode of the SJR Sports Podcast. Today I'm joined by Robbie Carson and Aiden Riley. Today we will be discussing the MLB postseason picture and how we think this rest of the season will turn out. So first off, we're going to start with our MVP and Cy Young predictions. So Robbie, what do you think is going to go down?
The AL is just crazy right now. Raleigh hitting 60, Judge batting champ, OPS leader, OBP leader, slugging leader. I have to go with Judge just because of that. Just Raleigh led one category.
Yeah, I also agree as well. Like Riley had a great season,
Yeah.
60 home runs, lots of RBIs, really dominated. But at the end of the day, Aaron Judge, he came up about 7 home runs short and maybe like 10 or 15 RBIs short and also missed 8 games. I'm going to take Aaron Judge, won a batting champ. OPS was just through the roof, and that's personally what I'm going to take. What about you, Aiden?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Judge. Riley had 61 home runs, home run derby champion. Was 60 or 60? 60 homers, home run derby champion. Doing that is the hardest position in the game. But Judge, he led almost every hitting category, so it's gonna go to Judge.
Yeah, now we're gonna discuss about a little bit about like AL Cy Young. So that was talking about AL MVP. Now AL Cy Young, we got 2 big candidates here. It's mostly Tariq Skubal and Garrett Crochet. Robbie, who do you think is gonna take this one home?
I gotta go Skubal. He leads ERA, strikeouts. He's 10 behind Crochet.
Something.
Yeah, and didn't Skubal get hurt at some point this year? He skipped a start or 2, so I have to go Skubal.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Crochet on this one. Kills me as a Yankee fan to take him. However, I just feel like he has been really dominant. When he's played the Yankees, he's been lights out, and I just feel like he's really going to take it. Even though like ERA, he's a little higher, I still think he's a lot better, and he's been really more dominant in terms of the way he's pitched. What do you think about you, Aiden?
I'm taking Skubal going back-to-back Cy Young winners. I think he's got 240 something strikeouts. He's leading the MLB with an ERA by 0.3. And he's leading the MLB with WHIP, so I think it's gonna be Skubal.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're gonna talk about NL MVP. We got really 2 guys, maybe 3 if you want to count Soto. You could put in this picture.
Yeah.
Mostly Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Schwarber. And Aiden, we're gonna start with you. What do you think?
I think the obvious answer is Ohtani. He gets so much publicity. He does it all. He's the man. He's the face of baseball. So, Schwarber leading the NL home runs, but Shohei's always gonna have that one up on everybody.
I totally agree, and I personally think Schwarber's kind of what we're seeing with Riley a little bit. 250, 56 homers, pretty much identical to what Riley's doing. A little less on the average, a little more home runs, but I personally think it's going to be Shohei. He's come back. He hasn't pitched quite lights out, but he's pitched good enough to where, he's still pitching and hitting bombs him at 290. Like, come on. At this point, you can say whatever you want about the voters' fatigue. He's definitely going to win MVP. What about you, Ryan?
And Shohei's also, he's 1 home run behind Schwarber, too.
Yeah.
He's 55, so, it's just Ohtani all day. Leads the NL in slugging percentage, OPS, and pretty much is tied for home runs.
Yeah. Now we're going to merge over to NL Cy Young. There's really only one guy, I believe, in my mind. That's Paul Skeens. What about you, Aiden?
It's got to be Skeens. What,
197?
Not fair. It's not.
So Paul Skeens, that's our prediction. So some interesting choices you had there. And now we're going to merge over to our wild card pitcher. Yesterday, we had some great stuff go down in game 162. The Mets knocked out of the playoffs and not going into the playoffs because the Reds lost. However, the Mets also lost. So the Mets got what they wanted from the Reds, just not from themselves. They needed to win, couldn't do it. And Aiden, you're a Mets fan. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Mets have no grit. It's embarrassing. They shouldn't. They don't deserve it.
Yeah, they did not look good yesterday. In fact, the rest of this final stretch of the season, about the last 20, 30 games, they really did not look like themselves. Juan Soto did a really good job of coming back from that pretty bad start he had, but he really picked it up.
If Soto started out the way he's hitting right now, he's MVP by far.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. He's been really good the second half, and he's really turned it up big time. Just wasn't enough for the Mets, as also Pete Alonso announced he's going to opt in the free agency. Not going to cover most of that, but just one thing to add to the Mets' horrible day yesterday. And the Reds are now going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, who saw that coming? The Cincinnati Reds.
I can't wait for playoff LA De La Cruz. I think he's going to be a stud.
It's going to be electric.
I think Hunter Green's going to be lights out. He's going to be lights out.
And so they play the Dodgers. Game 1 tomorrow night, 9:08 on ESPN. and it'll be, I believe I saw Hunter Green versus Blake Snell. That's an interesting matchup considering Snell's been IL or who starts IL. He hasn't been there. But, I think really Hunter Green is going to play a big role in the Reds if they want to win tomorrow night. And we also have some interesting Yankees did not win the AL East, unfortunately. They won. Blue Jays lost. It hurts, but now you got an interesting matchup with the Red Sox. What do you think about that?
I mean, just first off, I mean, going back, if they win that game against the Marlins, they're winning 6-0 in August. I mean, they're up in the #1 spot. So I mean, just gotta look back to that little 2-month stretch where they were one of the worst teams in baseball. But I mean, just overall, I'm excited for this series. You get to revamp this rivalry between these two just mammoth organizations. Personally, as a Yankee fan, I gotta go with the Yankees. Not just as a Yankee fan, but also just as a baseball fan in general. The Yankees, just top to bottom, are the better team, better pitching staff, more depth.
I totally agree. I think the Yankees this year, I saw a stat that they have been the best offense by far out of all the teams in MLB. And Aiden, what do you think about, a couple other matchups? You got Guardians versus Tigers. Yesterday, the Guardians coming down their final breath, finally winning the AL Central. They won it for the first time, or they won it for the second consecutive year. Tigers couldn't do it this year after starting off absolutely red hot. What do you think about that?
I think the Tigers are gonna come through. I mean, like they were really hot in the beginning. They got a little slow. They kind of like did what the Mets were doing, but at least they made it in. But I think they're gonna pick it up now. School's gonna be lights out. I mean, I think Tigers are gonna take it.
Yeah, I personally agree. I think Tigers are going to take it. I mean, look at this 1-3 rotation. You got Scooble, Flaherty, and Casey Mize. That is just ridiculous in itself. I can't. 3-game series. You can't go 3 games. You could go 3 games, but I think they'll be lucky to go 3 if the Guardians, considering they have Tanner Bybee and Gavin Williams as their front two. I'm taking the Tigers all the way there. I think they clean sweep them. And we're going over to our final matchup here. We got the Padres and the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
That's the series to watch, in my opinion.
Back in Wrigley Field for first time since I believe 2017. So that should be an interesting series. What do you think about that, Robbie?
I mean, I think this is the series to watch, in my opinion. Padres coming off of last year's playoffs, barely losing to the Dodgers. Cubs kind of like a miracle run this year. I don't think anyone saw them coming on the run they went through. I'm personally going to go with the Padres, though.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I'm going to take Padres on this one. Cubs have really slowed down the second half of the year, losing the division to the Brewers, who have gone on a hot streak. I think this weird wind in Chicago and all that stuff is going to play a big factor.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come down to the long ball. And I think that this Padres team has lots of pop. Tatis, Machado, all these guys, they can hit bombs. I think they're going to carry this team into the next round. Because, you're starting pitching, you got Nick Pivetta. I don't think Michael King will be activated. So you got like Nick Pivetta and a couple other guys on that rotation. I'm sure for the first game, it'll be Shota Imanaga for the Cubs, considering Cade Horton, as we know, is not playing. Who's a Rookie of the Year candidate.
Can't forget the trade deadline piece for the Padres too. You got Mason Miller, you got Ramon Laureano that turned into nobody.
One of the best moves.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Padres are going to take it. There's a group full of hitters. I mean, if their pitching doesn't do what they want them to do, I mean, like their bats are always going to come through.
Yeah.
We're going to move over to our last final segment here. We're going to talk about our World Series predictions. And Robbie, I'll have you start us off.
I mean, I think the NL is pretty clear. I think everyone thinks it could be the Phillies. I mean, just top to bottom, they're just stacked.
Who do you got in the AL winning the AL?
I mean, there are a bunch of teams you can go in the AL. But it's between the Yankees and the Mariners for me. I'm going to have to go with the Yankees, though. I think that they've been so hot recently, and they've been beating up on good teams. So I'm going to go Yankees.
I totally agree with Robbie here, but in kind of the opposite sort of spectrum. I think the Yankees are going to come through and finally beat these juggernaut postseason teams. I think they're going to beat the Red Sox. I think they're going to beat the Blue Jays. I think they're going to beat the Mariners. But they finally get to the mountaintop, and I think they beat the Phillies, who I think are the clear-cut #1 team in this NL. Considering the Padres' lack of postseason experience, I am totally 100% taking the Phillies in this one. But Yankees-Phillies, give me Yankees in 7 behind great pitching and fantastic offense. What about you, Aiden?
I think the Brewers are going to go to the World Series. I don't think Padres. I mean, not the Padres. The Phillies. They don't have it in them. I mean, their pitching's good, but the past couple of years they haven't done it. I mean, we saw the midseason how the Brewers they went on how many game win streak?
Yeah,
I mean
10 or 12.
that just showed their potential how how hot they can get, how long they can last for. I mean, and for the AL, I mean, I don't think what you guys were saying the Yankees aren't going to do. I mean, the postseason, Aaron Judge.
He's been
Yeah.
really struggling
only
the past
difference
couple
is,
years.
though,
Who do you
he's
got? Who
coming
do you got in
right
the
off
AL though?
his
I mean, AL. I mean, I think I'm going with the Tigers. I mean, yeah.
I could totally see that one happening. Considering for a couple of reasons, pitching, they have really been consistent. I also think the Mariners could definitely be in there too, just because of their starting pitching. You know, you got Wu, Gilbert, and Bryce Miller. Those three in itself is just disgusting. Same thing with the Tigers. So I think if we see those two match up in the ALDS, it'll be a very interesting matchup to see which pitching staff will go first. And I personally am really excited for this playoffs. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
Definitely going to be entertaining. I'm
gonna
looking
be-
forward to
I
it.
think it's gonna be one for the ages.
hoping for a couple of upsets. Me personally, after what the Dodgers did to my Yankees last year, I'm rooting for the Reds.
Yeah,
I think everybody's rooting for the Reds. Everybody's for the underdog.
And that'll do it for our SJR Sports Podcast episode. Tune in tomorrow for our episode about college football. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.